Assalamualaikum. We are still on corrosion science. So for today, I'm going to explain the thermodynamic corrosion. This is the diagram. At the end of this topic, you will know about this Purbig's diagram. So thermodynamic of corrosion. So first, you are going to construct a stability diagram of water. So as you know, water has 4 half-cell reactions depend on the environment, the pH of the water. So if the pH is acidic, this is to indicate acidic solution. So this is without oxygen. So this is the reduction process of hydrogen ion to form hydrogen gas. So the value is 0 volt. And if the condition is neutral or alkaline without oxygen, so this is the half cell reaction to produce hydrogen. So the value is negative 0.83 volt. So the two reactions above will use Nernst equation in order to find the E cell for each pH. This is the standard reduction potential. So there are 4 half-cell reaction involving water at 1.23 volt, 0.40. This is 1.23 is the acidic with oxygen, and for 0.40 is water, alkaline water, and neutral with oxygen. This one is without oxygen, acidic without oxygen, 0 volt. And the fourth one is alkaline or neutral without oxygen, negative 0.83 volt. So for the top slide here, actually you are going to plot E in volt versus pH. At the end you must have 2 slopes. One, the bottom slope represent hydrogen electrode reaction, and the top slope is oxygen reaction. So this is pH from 0 to 14. At the middle is 7. So when the condition is acidic, so this slope, in order to plot the slope, you must use Nernst equation. E cell equal to E standard 0.0592 over N log Q. Q is the reaction coefficient between products and reactants. So for this slope until from 0 to 7, this reaction is based on hydrogen evolution without oxygen in acidic, start at 0 volt, and from 7 to 14, pH 14, so this is water accept 2 electron. This is the reduction of water to hydrogen gas and produce byproduct hydroxide. So this is the condition neutral to alkaline. For the top slope before pH 7 in acidic, higher is more oxidizing and oxygen is present. So this is the reduction of oxygen in acid to form water. And from 7 to 14, this is water containing dissolved oxygen and produce hydroxide. So this slope, the top and the bottom slope, have the same slope. The value is 0.0592. Both slope rely on the Nernst equation, this equation. For example, if you want to draw or plot this slope, so E cell is E standard for hydrogen plus 2 hydrogen gas, which is 0.0592, and is 2. Why 2? This is 2. So log pressure of hydrogen, the product, and the hydrogen ion, power of 2. Okay, this is 0 volt, the standard for hydrogen to hydrogen gas without oxygen. This is 0.0592 log 1 over H, power of 2. So this is 0 minus 0.0592 over 2 times log 1 over H is pH. So this is 2 pH. So just cancel these two above and this 2, you end up with 0.0592 pH. Okay, if you put at pH 1, so the E cell measured here is 0.0592 if pH equals to 1 volt. If pH is 14 and 2 times 14, so you will get this value, exactly the same as the value for half cell for without in alkaline. This is the value if pH is negative 0.83 volt, if pH is 4. You can use either one half cell to plot all this slope, or you can use both. From 0 before 7, you can use this Nernst equation to find the E cell here. And from 7 to 14, you can use this. But if you use just one half cell, you still can get this slope. But remember to put pH from 0 to 14. So if you use this equation, this one, E cell equals to E standard. This is between water to OH. 0.0592. This is 2 and is 2 and is 2 log. So the product is the pressure of hydrogen equals to 1, same as 1, and also OH, power of 2, and water is 1. So you will end up with, this is 0.4, this is 83 volt and 0.0592, or you divide with 2, you will get 296. So log, so what is the value of hydroxide at that point? 2. Okay, so this value, you just add in, you will get the same value at this point. Okay, so if you put this 1 log 1 OH equals to 1, H plus equals to 14. This is POH, this is pH. Okay, so if log 1 at pH 14, this is OH is 1. So POH is 1, pH is 14. So you will get the same value, 83 volt, because this is 0. Okay, so for the top slope, this one containing dissolved oxygen, you can use one half cell reaction to plot this slope, or you can use both. This is acidic, this is alkaline. or neutral. Still, you can get this slope. So this slope, the value is this 0.0592. Okay, you check this up about this one. E cell at that point equals to E standard. So in this case, this is from oxygen to water in acidic. So 0.0592 and N is 4. N log, this is water, 1 water. The pressure of oxygen is 1, and this hydrogen ion will affect the E cell of 4. So this is 1.23. Where did I get this? It's from the table, the standard of cell reaction. 0.0592 divided by 4 times, this is log 1 over H is pH, then 4 times pH. So you can cancel this 4. So you end up with 1.23, 0.0592 pH. Alright, so this is E cell. You can determine E cell at that particular point using this using this equation. So this is 1.23. This is Y. This is Y. This is C, the intercept. This is MX. So the plot is E, Y axis, and pH X axis. So this is slope. This is slope. So this is the intercept. It will cross at pH 0, 1.23. So the bottom slope is cross at 0. The top slope cross at 1.23. And they will end up at 14, similar to this value, which is negative 0. Positive 0.40 volt, similar to this value in the table. Both slope are the same. Okay, so exactly in this table, so this is 1.23 in acidic, and this is pH 14, 0.40. This is the bottom slope, start with 0, end up with negative 0.83 volt. Okay, so I explained this. So you just refer to what I have sketched or I have written up there. So end up you have divided the diagram into 3 region or domain. In between, this is oxygen electrode reaction. This is hydrogen electrode. So at the middle, where the water is stable. So this water is stable, and the top one, water in the form of hydroxide tend to form oxygen. So what is dominant here? Oxygen. So this is the area where water unstable. Above this slope, this is water unstable, and below this slope, the bottom slope, water again unstable. So what is the most stable species? Is hydrogen. So you have divided the diagram into 3 regions. Water unstable, so the dominant is oxygen. In between is water is stable in the form of water, H2O molecule, in the form of H plus or hydroxide ion. So the bottom region is the lower region is the water unstable. So what is the dominant product or species? Is hydrogen. So you can read here. So there are three region, which is oxygen stable, the hydrogen, the stability of hydrogen, and the stability of water. So both line are similar. Okay, 0.091, or sometimes you can find in the book 92 volt, but in the negative direction. Okay, after that, After you have constructed that water stability diagram, you can prepare or construct this diagram, Purbig's diagram. So what is Purbig diagram? It actually graphical representation of thermodynamic information appropriate to electrochemical reaction, which are available for almost all metals. So the diagram show the thermodynamic stability of species as a function of potential E versus pH. So the objective of constructing this diagram is to represent the relative stabilities of solid phase. For example, ferrum, the oxide of ferrum, the solid phases, and the soluble ion. So ferrum has this ion, cation, okay, ferrum 3+, as well as ferrum anion. Alright, so we are going to know which area in the diagram, either this pure metal, oxide of ferrum, or these ions are stable. Second objective is to predict under which circumstances the metal can or cannot corrode. You can predict either it can or cannot corrode in that particular E and pH. So there are two parameters, one is E and other one is pH. So once you have completed the diagram, so you have prepared three more regions. One is immunity, next is corrosion, and also passivity. So what means by immunity? Immunity means that the most stable species in that region is the metal in the reduced form. Okay, for example, ferrum 0 is the most stable species in the form of metal, solid metal. It means that the metal is immune to corrosion. It will not corrode. In corrosion region, the most stable species is the soluble ion of that metals. For example, ferrum 2+, or at higher oxidation potential, ferrum 3+. So you expect in that region the metal will corrode. It has two sides. One is, this is cation in the acidic, and also in the alkaline it will tend to form anion. So in the third region is passivity. The most stable species, the insoluble products, either oxide of, for example, ferrum oxide or hydroxide. So you predict that area will form oxide layer or hydroxide layer. So you assume it won't corrode because it is passive. So you look at this. This is some example of Purbig's diagram of different metal. Each metal has its own Purbig's diagram. So again, this is gold, water Purbig's diagram. Okay, so again, it must have this hydrogen electrode, reaction, and oxygen. Okay, it can be seen here. In order gold to corrode, okay, this is the boundary. This is region of passivity. Okay, gold have very wide area of immunity. Immunity. It will not corrode in a normal environment. So if you want to corrode it, to dissolve it, to become Au3+ in this acidic, you must use a strong oxidizing agent. A normal water will not corrode gold. So this in between, pH from around 3 to 11, so it tend to form hydroxide, and higher potential it will form the most stable product, which is oxide of gold. This area is the anion product, probably this anion. This area is still corrode. This area also corrode. Corrosion region. Okay, corrosion have two sides. One is for cation, another one is anion. So in between, this is passivity. Passivity means that it form passive layer. So this, the bottom region is immunity. It remains as its reduced form, Au0. Look at this. Before that, you look back at this standard reduction potential. Okay, so this is the gold. So the value is higher, 1.50 than water with oxygen. That's why it cannot corrode in water, in acidic with oxygen, or in normal water. Okay, but in the presence of permanganate, or fluorine, or ozone, or hydrogen peroxide, which are strong oxidizing agent, gold Au is possible to oxidize, because all these are higher than gold, the value. So in normal water like this, gold will not corrode. And next, silver. About silver, silver is 0.80 here. It's lower than 1.23, but higher than other water half cell reaction. Okay, so look at its Purwitz diagram. So it can corrode. This is immunity region of silver. It remains as silver metal, but when it crosses this value, it will oxidize to Ag+, and this is become oxide. This is the corrosion also, but in the anion form. This is cation, this is an anion form. So, but it will corrode under this oxygen in acidic, but it will not corrode in hydrogen reaction. So next is about copper. So copper, this is the value 0.34. If you can see in the series, in the table. So Cu will oxidize to Cu2 plus at 0.34. Okay, so again it has this cation region, which is corrosion, then anion region, also corrosion, but this is in alkaline, strong alkaline. In between is as it become passive, so probably it will form copper oxide or copper 1 oxide. So this, the bottom region, is immune. It's immune to corrosion. It stay as reduced form, copper 0. This is ferrum. So it's the boundary, ferrum 0 to ferrum 2 is lower than copper, because the value for ferrum to ferrum 2 plus is negative 0.44 volt. Okay, if you use Nernst equation, E cell is E standard for ferrum. Alright, so that 0.0592, the value is 2n log. Okay, so ferrum 2 plus. Okay, so this is negative 0.44, 0.0592 2 log. Okay, in a common convention, they use whatever metal, the value to put in this Nernst equation is 10 power of negative 6 molar. Means it start corroding. So you will get this line. If you get this, you will get negative probably 0.5 something. So this is the value. Okay, between ferrum, immunity, and the boundary. This is the boundary. This is how you can plot or construct this slope, this line, horizontal line between ferrum and ferrum 2. Higher, it will corrode to the highest oxidation state, ferrum 3. So in between is oxide in the form of ferrum this 2 or ferrum 3. So this is still got corrosion region. So this in the anion form. Okay, we look at this last slide about how to construct a Purwitz diagram. This, for example, is aluminium and water. Okay, there are 5 extra lines. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is the hydrogen from water stability diagram. This is oxygen reaction. Okay, for 1, this is immunity aluminium, and cross this horizontal line of 1. So aluminium will oxidize to metal cation, aluminium 3 plus. So if you cross this 2, aluminium will produce alumina. This is passive region. So when it cross slope 4, it will produce anion. This is corrosion. corrosion make cation corrosion in anion form. See, this is the anion. All right, so in between, okay, look at this. All these 2, 1, 2, and 4 all based on Nernst equation. This is the standard. To draw this line, line 1, you must use this. Okay, so the value of standard is negative 1.66. So, okay, I draw back. Okay, so this is E versus pH. Okay, so this is hydrogen, but aluminium, 2 aluminium, 3. So the standard value is negative 1.66 volt. So this is 0. So it's somewhere here, 1.66. So you use Nernst equation. Okay, it will produce line 1. This is line 1, aluminium and aluminium 3. Okay, so it's horizontal. There is no slope because in this equation there is no H plus. It means that this reaction is not dependent on pH. So whenever you change the pH from 0 to 14, it will not affect the E cell. The cell is still the same from 0 to 14. So the second slope is about to plot between aluminium and also the boundary to its oxide. Okay, so when you use Nernst equation, you will get this slope. So the slope is 0.0592. Okay, so this interjunction, you just put one vertical line. It means that is a chemical equilibrium between cation and oxide of aluminium. So the fourth line is about this reaction. To make boundary between this metal, immune metal, this metal Al0 with the anion, the formation of anion. So different slope. Okay, and this line. So you can erase the overlap slope here, the horizontal. Okay, you can redraw it. So one is here. Okay, this is line 1. Alright, so you have divided the diagram into 3 more regions. Immunity. Okay, this is corrosion cation, corrosion and anion, and this is the middle is oxide, passive form. Okay, so this is 0.0592. This is different slope here. So now you have constructed aluminium water Purbix diagram. So you can predict, based on this diagram, you can predict either the metal will corrode or cannot corrode. Okay, so or you can predict either it will be in the immunity form, in the form of reduced form metal, or in the form of oxide. Okay, next the final one, we just look about the limitation of this diagram, Purbix diagram. Okay, from this diagram you just predict either it will corrode or it will become immune or become passive, but you do not know about the kinetics. The information of corrosion kinetic, you wouldn't know about this. You do not know how fast or how slow the corrosion will take place. And also the diagram are derived for specific temperature. For example, you just set one temperature, 25 degrees Celsius, okay, or pressure at 1 atmosphere. But if the condition is different temperature or different pressure, you have to plot a new diagram. And also the ionic species, for example, ferrum 2, aluminium 3 plus, or aluminium anion, all these they use 0 power of -6 start corroding. Okay, you just set one molarity. That is the limitation. And the most diagram available is only for pure. There is no alloy diagram. So in area where perfect diagram shows oxide to be thermodynamically stable, these oxides are not necessarily protective in nature. Okay, what does it mean? For example, ferrum. Ferrum will form oxide here, oxide, but you can predict it, the corrosion rate, the kinetic is slow, but when you check, probably the corrosion rate is high. Okay, very fast corrosion rate, because as you know, ferrum will form oxide, but it's not very intact. It can flake off, so it still can corrode. Thank you.